me through that, take me through that.
No one expected to see this, Ashanti and Nelly stepping out in Nashville, Tennessee, for what looked like the most glamorous and surprising date night of the season. But what really had the crowd buzzing wasn't just their undeniable chemistry, or the way Nelly held Ashanti's hand. It was Ashanti's body. Yes, fans were whispering, shouting, and even debating online about her curves, claiming she had a natural BBL after giving birth to baby KK. Some people insisted it was surgery, while others defended her, saying it was all her, God-given. And right before we dive into all the receipts, let's wait and watch this clip to see what's really going on. Oh, and if you love keeping up with these kinds of shocking celebrity moments, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now, because you don't want to miss what's coming next. The clip in question shows Ashanti walking into the Nashville hotspot with Nelly by her side, and the crowd immediately gasps. Phones are out, flashes everywhere, and the whispers begin, "Did she get work done? How is this possible after just having baby KK? That's not surgery, that's genetics." The energy in the room shifts, not just because Ashanti looks stunning, but because people can't seem to figure out what's behind her glow-up. And just like that, the internet ignites. What makes this even juicier is Nelly's response. Instead of ignoring the rumors, he takes the mic later that evening and straight up addresses the crowd. "It's all real. We don't need no plastic. My wife got it from God." That statement alone sends fans into a frenzy. Some people call it the most supportive, husband-like thing they've ever heard. Others argue he was being defensive, shutting down criticism too quickly. Either way, one thing is clear. Nelly isn't letting anyone drag his wife's name into the mud. Let's pause for a second and really think about what this means. In a world where celebrity women are constantly scrutinized for their bodies, whether they gain weight, lose weight, or look too good after pregnancy, Ashanti has become the center of an all-too-familiar storm. The fact that she's being accused of altering her body, simply because she bounced back after giving birth, says a lot about the pressures put on women in the spotlight, and it says even more about why Nelly felt the need to step in. But here's where the story twists. Some fans aren't buying Nelly's defense. A few voices online are insisting that Ashanti must have had some kind of procedure, saying there's no way her figure could look like this after a baby. Others clap back, pointing out that Ashanti has always been curvy, always had that natural shape, and pregnancy just enhanced it. This back and forth has created one of the biggest debates in celebrity gossip right now. Is Ashanti's body too good to be true? Or is it living proof that some women really do bounce back naturally? What makes this even more dramatic is the timing. The Nashville date night was supposed to be a celebration. Nelly and Ashanti enjoying their love, taking a night away from baby KK, and just living in the moment. Instead, it turned into a spectacle. Instead of focusing on their happiness, the media spotlight shifted to Ashanti's body, with headlines less about the couple's romance and more about speculation. And that, folks, is where things get ugly. Adding fuel to the fire, a few gossip bloggers started circulating side-by-side photos of Ashanti before and after pregnancy. Some claimed the difference was proof of surgery, others argued it was nothing more than baby weight in the right places. Screenshots of comments went viral, showing fans divided into camps. On TikTok, hashtags like Ashanti BBL and Natural Queen started trending. Can you imagine? A night meant to be romantic turning into an internet war about someone's body. Now let's bring it back to Nelly, because this man is not one to hold his tongue. Not only did he publicly defend Ashanti, but sources backstage say he was visibly frustrated with the way fans were treating her. One insider claimed he muttered under his breath, "They don't see the work she puts in. This is all her." That's not just love, that's loyalty. And it shows just how protective Nelly has become over his wife, especially now that they're raising baby KK together. But here's the controversy. Some fans think Nelly's defense actually made the situation worse. By calling it out so directly, they argue he gave more attention to the rumors instead of letting them fade away. "He just made it a bigger story," one critic wrote online. And that's the double-edged sword of celebrity life. Defend your partner and people say you're overcompensating. Stay quiet and people accuse you of hiding something. There's no winning in the court of public opinion. As Ashanti and Nelly left the Nashville restaurant, the flashing lights didn't stop. Paparazzi swarmed, fans screamed their names, and through it all, Ashanti kept her cool. But observant fans noticed something different. She moved a little slower, occasionally holding Nelly's arm for support. Some called it exhaustion. Others whispered that her pregnancy glow was showing again. And just like that, the conversation pivoted from her body to speculation. Is baby number 2 on the way? Now here's where things got messy. A group of fans uploaded paparazzi videos on TikTok with captions like, "She looks tired, definitely pregnant," and those clips skyrocketed into millions of views. Within hours, Ashanti's name was trending not just for her curves but for possible pregnancy rumors. And as always, the internet divided. Some cheering the idea of another KK, and others saying it's invasive to speculate about a woman's body. But the noise was already too loud to ignore. Behind the scenes, insiders close to the couple said Ashanti didn't appreciate the speculation. She's protective of her family, especially baby KK, and doesn't like the idea of strangers dissecting her every move. But here's the twist. Despite all the chaos online, she didn't let it show. Backstage at the Where the Party At tour later that night, she was reportedly seen smiling, cheering for Nelly, and even joking with his crew. On the surface, she played it cool. But fans watching closely insisted, "You can't hide it. She looks pregnant." Let's pause here for a second, because this is where it gets dramatic. Fans who were actually in the building that night shared clips of Ashanti sitting side stage, rocking in her chair, and yelling proudly, "That's my husband!" The crowd loved it, but many also said her energy was different. Less dancing, more resting. And in the world of celebrity gossip, even sitting down too long can spark an entire wave of theories. And of course, Nelly wasn't about to let the spotlight move too far from his queen. In between songs, he looked over at Ashanti, blew a kiss, and shouted, "I love you, baby." The crowd erupted. But the way Ashanti smiled and placed her hand gently on her stomach didn't go unnoticed. That small gesture became the internet's newest obsession. "She just confirmed it," one fan tweeted. "That's the look of a woman protecting her baby." This isn't the first time the couple has had to deal with baby rumors, though. Ever since Ashanti gave birth to baby KK, people have been watching her every move, waiting for signs of another child. And while most couples would find that overwhelming, Ashanti and Nelly seem to use it to their advantage. The more fans speculate, the more their love story stays front and center in the headlines. But is that a good thing, or could it create cracks in their private life? The backlash started soon after. Critics accused fans of crossing the line, saying it's unfair to analyze every pound, every outfit, every angle of a woman who just had a baby. One commentator even wrote, "We need to stop treating celebrities like breeding machines." But others weren't backing down. To them, Ashanti's glow, her tired demeanor, and even Nelly's protective attitude were all signs pointing to a growing family. The debate grew hotter by the hour. To make matters even spicier, old interview clips of Ashanti resurfaced online, where she once admitted she wanted more than one child. In that same clip, she laughed and said, "Nelly wants a whole team." Suddenly, fans had evidence to back their claims. "See? She said it herself. They're working on baby number 2, one viral post read. It was like throwing gasoline on an already raging fire. Through all of this, Nelly's role can't be overlooked. The way he shields Ashanti, stands beside her, and defends her against rumors has fans swooning. But critics argue it's only making people speculate more. Every time he addresses the rumors, headlines multiply. Every time he calls her "my wife" in public, fans dig deeper for signs of another pregnancy. It's a vicious cycle, one that only seems to grow the more the couple engages with it. But here's the cliffhanger. What happened when Ashanti and Nelly left the tour venue that night shocked fans even more. Reports claim Ashanti skipped the after-party, choosing instead to go straight back to the hotel. For some, it was proof she's expecting again. For others, it was nothing more than a tired mom making a responsible choice. Either way, the whispers followed them out of Nashville and into the headlines. By the morning after the Nashville show, the internet was on fire. Gossip blogs, fan pages, and even mainstream entertainment outlets were running with one headline: Ashanti can't hide baby number 2. Suddenly, what started as whispers from fans at the concert became the biggest trending topic across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Clips of Ashanti sitting backstage holding her stomach and calling out, "That's my husband," were replayed endlessly, dissected like pieces of evidence in a courtroom. The pressure mounted quickly. Paparazzi began lurking outside the couple's Nashville hotel, hoping to catch a glimpse of Ashanti in a candid moment. But here's the twist. The couple didn't give them what they wanted. Instead, they slipped quietly out of the back entrance, avoiding the chaos altogether. Still, photos surfaced of Ashanti in an oversized hoodie, and you already know what came next: claims that she was hiding the bump. Now, this is where the story took a sharp turn. Just as fans were convinced they had the whole narrative figured out, Nelly decided to step into the conversation. During a backstage interview with a local radio station, he was asked directly about Ashanti's health, and his response: "Man, my wife's good. Y'all need to relax. She's just tired, but she's strong." That one line set social media ablaze. To some, it sounded like he was shutting down the pregnancy rumors. But to others, the way he smiled while saying it hinted at something more. Clips of that interview spread like wildfire, with fans pausing, zooming in, and overanalyzing every single expression Nelly made. Some swore his grin was a secret confirmation. Others argued he was clearly frustrated with the speculation. But either way, Nelly had done what he always does. He kept the mystery alive without giving a clear yes or no, and that only made fans hungrier for answers. Meanwhile, entertainment outlets leaned all the way in. TMZ, Hollywood Unlocked, and Shade Room each published stories covering Ashanti's possible pregnancy, each with their own spin. Some were supportive, celebrating the idea of another baby. Others leaned into the drama, questioning if Ashanti's slowing down on stage was a sign of trouble. The headlines were brutal, but they kept the couple's names plastered everywhere. But here's the emotional twist. Insiders close to Ashanti claimed the singer was hurt by the constant scrutiny. She reportedly told friends, "Can I just support my husband without people assuming I'm pregnant every time I sit down?" It's a raw reminder that behind the glitz and glamour, celebrities are still human. And while the world sees drama, she's just trying to be a wife and a mom. Still, the public fascination didn't slow down. In fact, fans took things a step further. Old concert footage of Ashanti performing pre-baby was spliced together with new clips from Nashville, highlighting changes in her figure and her energy on stage. The captions? Brutal. Before versus after baby. Glow up or glow down. It was the kind of online obsession that can either make a star stronger or break them down completely. And then, another curveball. A fan who claimed to be backstage at the Nashville show posted a TikTok saying, "I was there, y'all. Ashanti looked radiant. She wasn't hiding anything. She was just tired." That video went viral, creating a counter-narrative that maybe, just maybe, the world was reading too much into one night. Suddenly, a new debate sparked. Is this about a pregnancy? Or is this about society's obsession with women's bodies? Through it all, Nelly remained unbothered, or at least that's how he appeared. He posted a cryptic Instagram story the next day showing him and Ashanti holding hands, captioned simply, "Love wins." No mention of pregnancy, no mention of the rumors, just two words that said everything and nothing at the same time. And of course, fans flooded the comments with their own interpretations. But here's the kicker. The couple's Nashville appearance wasn't just a one-night event. It was part of the Where the Party At tour, which meant more public appearances, more backstage moments, and more opportunities for speculation. Fans knew this wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning. By the time the Where the Party At tour rolled into Atlanta, the frenzy had reached fever pitch. Fans were no longer just there for the music. They were there to study every movement Ashanti made. Was she holding her stomach? Was she sitting down more often than usual? Was her outfit looser than before? The crowd wasn't just screaming for the hits, they were screaming for answers. And Ashanti knew it. On that night, she walked onto the stage in a stunning silver outfit, sparkling from head to toe. But what caught fans off guard wasn't the shine. It was the fact that she performed sitting down for part of the show. Cameras zoomed in, clips hit TikTok within seconds. And once again, the pregnancy speculation machine was running at full speed. What made things even more dramatic was how Nelly played into the moment. Mid-performance, he reached out and kissed her hand, whispering something into her ear. The crowd erupted, but the internet went wild replaying that exact second. Fans swore he whispered, "Take it easy, baby." Whether he said it or not didn't matter. The perception was enough to set social media ablaze. The tour itself was already a hit, selling out venues across the country. But Ashanti and Nelly's personal lives became the real headliner. Entertainment journalists followed every city, treating the couple like royalty under surveillance. It was no longer just about music, it was about body language, facial expressions, and even how long Ashanti stayed on her feet. In Dallas, fans reported seeing Ashanti head straight backstage after her set, instead of mingling with crew and friends like she normally does. One fan tweeted, "She's protecting herself, y'all, that's a mama move." Another fan, however, speculated it was more about avoiding cameras. But either way, the narrative grew louder. Ashanti was pregnant, and she couldn't hide it forever. But here's where things take an emotional twist. During one of her performances, Ashanti looked out into the crowd and spotted a group of fans holding signs that said, "Congrats, Mama Ashanti." She paused, smiled, and put her hand on her chest. The arena erupted. Was that confirmation? Or was it just gratitude? The internet, of course, took it as the former. Meanwhile, backstage videos leaked from crew members showed Ashanti resting between sets, sipping water, and occasionally leaning back with her eyes closed. Those videos, though innocent, became the smoking gun for fans online. She's glowing. She's definitely carrying. That's the pregnancy walk. Every clip turned into evidence. Every moment turned into a headline. And while the speculation raged, Nelly remained cool. In one interview between shows, he doubled down on protecting Ashanti, saying, "Man, y'all need to let my wife breathe. She's doing her thing and I'm proud of her." Notice the choice of words. Wife. Not just partner, not just girlfriend. Wife. It was a subtle reminder that the two were united, no matter what the world threw at them. But then came the Houston stop, and everything exploded again. Fans claimed they spotted Ashanti leaving the stage with what looked like a baby bump outline under her dress. Photos were snapped, circulated, and debated endlessly. Some said it was just the angle. Others insisted it was proof. But one thing was certain. This wasn't going away. As the Where the Party At tour neared its final stretch, anticipation was at an all-time high. Fans weren't just there for the music anymore. They were detectives, combing through every photo, every clip, every moment for proof that Ashanti was carrying baby number 2. And let's be real, the suspense was driving the entire internet insane. Then came the Los Angeles stop, a show that many fans will remember for years. Ashanti, dressed in flowing white, looked radiant as she performed her classics. But halfway through the set, she lowered herself onto a chair, took a deep breath, and smiled at the crowd. Instantly, the arena roared. Some fans shouted, "We love you, Mama." Others yelled, "We see it, girl." That single moment became the highlight of the night. Social media was on fire within seconds. TikTok edits flooded the app, Instagram pages dissected her movements, and Twitter hashtags like Saadi Ashanti Baby 2 and Nelly Family Goals started trending. And the wildest part? Ashanti didn't shut it down. She didn't confirm it, but she didn't deny it either. She let the moment breathe. Backstage footage leaked after the LA show added more fuel to the fire. Ashanti was spotted sitting with Nelly, resting her head on his shoulder while sipping tea. Crew members whispered that she had been more tired than usual but was determined to finish the tour strong. That quiet dedication, that mix of exhaustion and resilience, only made fans love her more. But here's the controversy. Some critics started questioning whether Ashanti should even be performing while pregnant, if she was indeed expecting. The debate turned heated, with fans defending her right to do what she loves, while others accused Nelly of not protecting her enough. It was messy, but it kept the story alive in the headlines. Meanwhile, Nelly himself made headlines when he told a radio host, "My wife is built for this. She knows what she's doing, and I'm behind her 100%. That statement not only reinforced their unity, but it also gave fans a glimpse into their private dynamic. He wasn't just defending her, he was lifting her up. The final stop of the tour was in New York, and it felt more like a family reunion than a concert. Ashanti's family was there. Nelly's kids were spotted backstage, and BabyKK was the star of the dressing room. Fans caught glimpses of the toddler toddling around in designer sneakers, proving once again that this family was living in style. At one point during the show, Ashanti addressed the crowd directly. With a smile, she said, "Y'all always got so much to say about me and my life, but just know, I'm happy. That's all that matters." The crowd went wild. Was that a confirmation? Was that her way of saying yes, she was expecting? The ambiguity only made the mystery deeper. By the time the lights went down on the final show, one thing was clear. Ashanti and Nelly had successfully blurred the lines between performance and personal life. They had turned speculation into an art form, and their fans were hooked. Whether or not baby number 2 was on the way didn't even matter anymore. What mattered was the bond, the energy, and the undeniable chemistry that had carried them through. And so, as the dust settles on the tour and the whispers continue to swirl, the question remains: will Ashanti and Nelly finally confirm the rumors? Or will they let fans live in suspense a little while longer? One thing's for sure: their love story has become one of the greatest spectacles in modern music, and as always, the world will be watching. The world